can fly. She can make your heart spin like a hurricane tonight. Mandalay, she blew my heart away. She's my Mandalay. There's no one else. Oh dear, just like the candle in the solar wind, we find a way and jump so far between. Now I'm so clear, there's no one else. I can't hold dear. You light my way in the black of the night. You give me safety, and I feel alright. Mandalay, you blew my heart away. Yeah, you're my Mandalay. She makes me feel so fast and nimble, like a bird of prey as we fly away. Together now, into darkness,
We all know what it's like. You're busy managing your settlement when suddenly the alarms go off.
Oh no, not again.
That's right. A commander with a Federation naval rank of Admiral, an Imperial King no less, has landed in a ship worth over 100 million credits and is killing all your staff, while they look around for a 10 credit adhesive to glue an upgraded scope to their 100,000 credit assault rifle. They fly away with their super glue and you're left with a problem. How are you going to get your agricultural plant back up and running?
How am I going to get my plant up and running?
How are you going to find staff at short notice?
How am I going to find staff at short notice?
How are you going to deal with all those bodies?
There's bodies everywhere, and they've stained the carpet.
Wonder no longer. Call Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services.
Hello, I'm Harry, from Harry's Mine. After a sudden increase in robberies and murders by commanders since 3307, I've gained valuable expertise in cleaning up bodies, recruiting new staff and restocking stationary lockers. Now you can benefit from my experience by signing up to our Crime Scene Cleanup Service subscription plan.
That's right. For only a small monthly fee, when your settlement alarms are activated, our rapid response cleanup crew will be dispatched, along with our patented Cadaver Scoop 150. The Cadaver Scoop 150 can be mounted to surface reconnaissance vehicles and skimmers to make tidying up your settlement a breeze.
Wow, the bodies are gone.
Our recruitment team has potential new employees on standby across the galaxy, ready to fill your vacant roles in security, logistics, administration, processing, and more.
My plant's operational again. Thanks, Aries Crime Scenes Cleanup Services.
Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services. We'll have your settlement as good as new before the next ship arrives. Cadaver Scoop 150 disposal bags sold separately.
They left behind, causing clouds and budding towns. Coriolis is an outpost, scorched and burning with green flame. The Saffron is to blame, with his ideas so harebrained. So those star guards into danger, daffodils right at our door without a care. But our ex-pilot showed them it's the end of the war. No more corrosive coast war, causing cabbages are pesky panties. Try to wreck your day, yes, it's the end of the war. My violence can take no more. I'm a billionaire who has no cares. Why should I keep my AX spares? Oh, what a lovely sight to see. The lost types and smithereens. Earth lost stained below, what a shit show. At least there's more Earth-likes we know. Humanity is saved. AX pilots so brave. Not so deep for oh so long. So the middle and we all said so, then we really kicked their asses. It's the end of the war. No more corrosive coleslaw, constant cabbages or pesky pansies trying to wreck your day. Yes, it's the end of the war. Terror tulips close the door. Spiteful spinach, murder flowers, all that burn goes on for hours. Hollow squares are all around me. Hydras roar against our fury. Guardian weapons firing madly. So could not be taken lightly. 10,000 strong we fight on. Oh, it's the end of the war. Laser ladies are no more. Toxic cryptids, sour salads, really trying to wreck your day. Yes, it's the end of the war. Terror turnips, weeds of woe. Hero plants, it's time to go. Danger days, please just know. Yes, it's the end of the war. No more lurking lettuce, no marauding marigolds. A savage salads, fury flowers, a vacuum vegetables. Get out you wobbly weeds on your bike, son. I'll hit off you bloody go. Alright, son, off you blooming go.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite.
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
And the fantastic
Community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the Orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 553 of Lave Radio, the show about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. Now, because Commander Phoenix Defire, Colin Ford, is off swanning off to Egypt right now, I'm your host, Commander Psychic, also known as Claire, also known as the Staff Liaison Officer. And joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our SRV Banksy, Commander Alec Turner.
Good evening.
We have our Head of Health and Safety, Commander Ed Levice, otherwise known as Ben. Works.
Yeah, that works. Turning things off and on again is not working at the moment.
Copy that. Cool. We also have in Colin's stead, we have the very lurgy-filled Chris Mark 5.
Hello, I have been blessed with Grandfather Nurgle's gifts.
Okay. And also doing a double shift on both tech and talkie is the wonderful Chris Mark 4.
Have you tried turning it on, then off again, rather than off, then on again?
I don't understand how that works. What's happening?
I might be doing it the wrong way around. You're right. It's like inserting a USB port.
If you wish, you can join us live. We're hanging out in game. Well, Chris is looking out the window at Lave Bar, and Ben is flying about somewhere, one would assume. Chris, you're hanging out at the usual table?
I am at the regular reserved table in the Lave Station bar. Come along and say hi.
Excellent. If you can't get in game, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live, clicking on live chat, or you can just come and see us on Twitch. Hi, chat. Let's have a chat about what we've been up to this week. Let's start with Alec.
Talking about Chris and his view of the station bar. I actually somebody mentioned you on the forums today, Chris, and your view from the station bar. It was a thing in the suggestions forum, and somebody was pointing out that actually the mail slot has two little observation decks either side of it. And they were saying, wouldn't it be cool if we had an elevator from the concourse bar that could take us to the observation deck as an alternative place to stand? And then they said, and then Chris would have a new view for Lave Radio. Which I thought was really funny.
Excellent. Thank you for thinking of me, Commanders, in my regular view.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
More to the point, you'd have a new target to crash into.
It's funny, there are two little slots actually either side of the slot. I'd never noticed them before.
Oh, that's cool. I love it.
Yeah, so much detail in the game. What have I been up to? Not much actually. It's been a very quiet week. I went bowling twice because my son got some birthday money and he likes to go bowling, so he took me, and then he went again with one of his groups. So yeah, I've been bowling twice. Do like a bit of 10-pin. And we also went to the cinema on Saturday to see what was it? It was stupid, but it was quite fun. Zoopocalypse,
Okay.
which is like a sort of animated. It's not exactly a kids' film, but one of your classic crop of animated films. I don't know if it's in the Zootropolis zoo or a different zoo. But what's quite interesting is so it's very much a kids' film, and it's very much just sort of fun and slapstick, and so not genuinely scary. But that said, there's some kind of quite serious body horror that happens to the
Oh my
animals that get
god.
infected by the aliens. I mean, it reminded me very much of John Carpenter's Thing, like
Oh
they're
my
all sort of
gosh.
turning inside out and eyes flopping around, and it's really quite horrific. And I read in the credits at the end that it's based on a Clive Barker novel, so it's quite dark subject matter, but it works. It's really funny.
So there's a game called Zoocosis, right? Where that actually, well, the kind of animals get infected, and it's kind of like that description. I think there's a point a giraffe kind of splits in half.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
god.
I wonder if it's based on that. Yeah, the giraffe is pretty grotesque, and yeah, there's some
Yeah,
weird
it's
shit,
like
frankly.
horrific. I mean, game looks amazing, but
Okay,
it's
well
horrific.
they've cartoonized it and made it suitable for 6-year-olds. It's hilarious. Yeah, yeah. In game, God, I'm back to time trial racing again. I can't tear myself away. And worse, I've become obsessed with trying to do the Dracula Rally in under half an hour. It's so close. It's so frustrating. Like
Under half an hour.
yeah, so I have
How
several
dare
runs
you?
around about the 31-minute mark now. I did a 31:50 this morning and a 32:10. Yesterday I did a 32 something. My best is 31:40. It's so close. If I could just get it perfect, I could do less than half an hour.
Wow.
And the thing is, I know that at least Commander Duck from the Elite Races is also trying to beat half an hour, and I want to be the first to do it. So that has become my obsession. Um, More about time trial racing later, actually, because we've got a whole bunch of new time trials in ED Copilot that look really cool, and I need to go and look at those.
Cool.
But yeah, I've just been racing. It's become like this huge wonderful game in which we can do a million things, and I've narrowed it down to one very specific thing that I just do over and over.
I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna yuck your yum or your obsession as it possibly is. Cool. Ben, what have you been up to, mate?
Right. Well, after we were talking about looking for blobs of coloured circles to show population density, Nicey and I started working on an application, and it's rather a lot of data. We've got about half a terabyte of system information. Yeah, half a terabyte.
Wow.
That's more data. That's bigger than like installing Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5 and probably Red Dead as well.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Okay.
And that's just the information about what we got. Then there's about another 200 to 300 gigabytes of data about all the populated systems.
Mm-hmm.
We're combining, merging, mashing it together, trying to produce pretty pictures. And we managed to get some pretty pictures. And we managed to get about one frame every 15 seconds.
Okay.
So we've then started implementing actual gaming technologies. You know how things like in a game you'll zoom in and you'll zoom in and you'll zoom in. We're having to do that to try to get frame rates into double digits. So that's proving a lot of fun. Then over the weekend I went to the sunny delights of Milton Keynes, followed by Norfolk. which was I had the saddest pizza ever in Milton Keynes.
Whereabouts? I do vaguely know Milton Keynes.
It
Where
was
did you
from
get this?
something like Big Papa's Pizza, and they were
Okay.
advertising, we do fresh dough and fresh everything, and I had it in also a not very good travel lodge, and I had this advertised as fucking amazing fresh pizza, and it was not fresh. It were your standard frozen takeaway pizza with the cheapest toppings available. So yeah, that made me a sad bunny. On the other hand, I did find an absolutely fecking amazing breakfast cafe that's about 2 minutes away from Luton Airport. And the whole point of doing all this was meeting up with a bunch of friends over in Norfolk, and so the actual meetup was a lot of fun. The cafe was a lot of fun, but that pizza was shit.
Okay. Cool. Wonderful. Chris 5, what have you been up to? I know, but tell everyone else.
I've been doing a lot of mining. So I wanted to finish in the top 25%. I did. I was going to get nowhere near the top 10 because those were insane numbers. So I imagine I'll get the rewards. So yay. Beyond that, a bit of Baldur's Gate, a bit of Jump Space, and that's about it. Oh, and feeling ill today. So yay.
Yay. Cool. Chris 4, how you doing, pal?
Not bad. What have I been up to? I've not been up for a ton of exciting things. Had a nice weather up here at the weekend, so went along to Portobello and tried out a new fish and chip restaurant, which is opened in the old public toilets. It's better than it sounds.
Nice.
So yeah, ended up trying out there at the weekend and went a nice walk along Portobello Prom, which was lovely. Usual sort of radio stuff over the weekend. I've been kind of busman's holiday where I've been spending my spare time, a bit like Ben spending his spare time not programming. I've been spending my spare time not network engineering, and building all sorts of bits and pieces in the background. In game, I've been trying out the Type 11. I've been going off and doing a bit of mining, which I am absolutely rubbish at, and I can never find the hotspots that I want. I need to watch a really good tutorial, and I believe you have one. So I will. I should have watched it during the CG instead of thinking, sod it, I'm going to go and give it a try.
It's old and it's that old. It talks about EDDB like it's still a thing, but it still holds up. If you don't pay attention to the EDDB. That's my caveat.
So yeah, I did a little bit. I did my part, thumbs aloft, for the CG, and I believe we'll obviously be talking about new CGs very soon, which sounds like one that's so easy even I might be able to do something.
You very well may be able to do it.
How about you, Claire? What have you been up to?
I've been so ill, which will be quite noted by the fact that if you're in Lave Discord and you saw me, we've got a new question of the week channel where all of our questions are going to be stored, and both of my computers have for reasons of I do a lot of conversing with Americans, for reasons of that. Both of my Windows PC has the American date and time, so it has like at the moment it shows 10/14/2025, but on Sunday it showed 10/12/2025, and I wrote the 10th of December down for when. For the date, because I was delirious. I have been iller than I can possibly. I've probably given Chris the lurgy, so my apologies, love. That I don't know where I caught it because I don't leave the house, but I've been really, really, really ill. And then yesterday I woke up and my neck was so sore I could barely move. I feel fine today. Today I've just been busy, but the whole of the weekend was a complete write-off, which was annoying. I've been playing Elite, I've been playing Jump Space, I've been playing Baldur's Gate. I've also also checked out this game called The Farmer Was Replaced on Friday, which is a game that teaches you sort of code. It's sort of like Python adjacent. And I genuinely have never felt so exposed doing this code in front of people, not knowing what I was talking about. Because I worry, because a lot of people are quite like,
yeah,
we're quite techie. I don't know if you've noticed. You're talking about network
yeah.
engineering.
I would
and
not want to
coding.
code live on stream, knowing this
it
crowd.
Was, knowing the last time I coded was like doing Excel spreadsheets and using basic Visual Basic when I was in working for an energy supplier and trying to set up a very rudimentary thing that other people could do that was user friendly. So getting like these pop-up boxes and stuff that will populate for them. And that was it. And that was the last time I coded at all. And I'm sat there on stream going, what the hell am I doing? The most nerve-wracking stream I've ever done. It was also sponsored, but it was the most nerve-wracking stream I've ever done because I was like, if I fuck this up, you already think I'm an idiot. You're gonna think I'm a big idiot if I do it wrong. Never felt so exposed, but we got through it, and it's a really fun game. I do recommend checking it out, even regardless of being sponsored by it, because it was only like £2-3 called The Farmer Was Replaced. It's like Babby's first introduction to Python. It was really fun.
It sounds wild, actually. I like it.
It was quite a cool little thing, and you're doing yourself a disservice because anytime I thought in chat, I'll try and pipe in and give a bit of hand, you ended up getting it working anyway. So you did really, really well. I'd be like, oh, that's not going to work. That's going to fall apart. Oh no, it does work. Okay, it's fine.
Basically, I just bodge it all the time. That's 90% of the work. Yeah, but I have also been playing. I've been playing a game that is that's coming out or this time next week that I will be happy to talk about loads this time next week. But I just want to let you know that I have been playing it, and I've been given Frontier have been very cool and given some people creators early access to Jurassic World Evolution 3 that I will be able to talk about and share my opinions of next week. But yeah, that's there, and that's been taking up a lot of my time. Have I missed anyone? I haven't, have I? We're good there.
We're good.
Cool, good stuff. I hate to feel like I've missed someone. That would be really, really bad. Cool. Speaking of Jurassic World Evolution 3, I'm pretty sure all of the devs are like hands-on with that, and all of the, well, I say all that, the community team are hands-on with that, and we've not had any dev news with regard to release.
Yeah, the Twitter storm has died down as well, I noticed.
I think, yeah, the Twitter storm has died down. There've been some tweets. There's been some tweets. There have been a couple of tweets, but nowhere near as many as the big push week. So with that said, I'll hand over to you, Alec, for some community news.
And now to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
It's come round quick. I can normally think about it while you're doing dev news. Right, first up, I guess this is vaguely adjacent to what Ben was talking about that he's been tinkering on with Nicey. But yeah, so I raised a question on last week's show. We were talking about exploration, actually, and how far you had to go to find unexplored systems and all that jazz. And I was trying to describe this notion I had in my head of like a view of the galaxy map with concentric rings with sort of percentages explored. So there'd be a ring around the bubble that was like 99.9% explored, and then there'd be a ring further out that was 80%, and so on. And so it'd be, anyway, it turns out, thanks to Blue Screws and a few other people, I just hadn't poked around in the fabulous edastro.com website nearly enough.
My dearest Commander Sulu.
So yeah, do go and have a proper poke around the whole of edastro.com. There's a really cool option on their interactive galaxy map called, what's it called? Saturation. And if you turn on saturation, then it's pretty much exactly what I was looking for. And it's kind of fascinating because so there's a color key, but basically red is heavily explored and black is barely explored, and there's a sort of color gradient, a heat map in between.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and what I really like about it is it's obviously super heavily explored around the bubble, and then it tails off. It's basically in the core, even though your classic heat map, which basically the brightness reflects the number of times that people have gone through that system, but it's nothing to do with how explored it is. So obviously thousands of people trek backwards and forwards between here and Colonia, or between here and Sagittarius A. So those
Mhm.
heat maps give the impression that obviously that strip is heavily explored, but it's not. So the core of the galaxy is basically black on this map. It's like as good as unexplored,
Yeah.
and a good third of it. And it's partly because the density. There's just so many. If you've ever flown out there, the night sky,
Mhm.
the skybox, it's just full of stars. And of course, it's thicker at the core as well. So there's just a huge number of stars, and we've barely touched we've barely scraped it. What I really like about this map is it's actually the whole galaxy has a red fringe on it all the way around the outside, because the outside fringe of the galaxy is thin. Again, the stars are sparsely spread out. And physically thin. If you turn the galaxy on its side, of course, it tapers off to the edge, so that it is thin. There are literally, a handful of stars around. So the outside edge has been probably 100% explored because there's so few stars to explore.
Mm.
So it's
So,
interesting, and there's also a mode on it in Ed Astro called mixed or combined or something, and you can combine this map with the heat map and see the travel that people have made, but also what's been explored. It's interesting if you dig into Ed Astro somewhere. There's like a sort of blog, and there's details about how these maps and this saturation map. It's quite complex because obviously you've got the numbers from people that submit stuff to things like EDSM and ED Market Connector and all that jazz. So they've got. That's not all the players, obviously. It's some percentage of all the players.
Yeah.
So how many systems in a given area have been explored or discovered by those players. But in order to produce this heat map, I then had this follow-on question, which was, well, but how do we know how many stars are in that spot? Because by its very nature, we don't know how many undiscovered systems there are. And it goes into all sorts of very clever maths based on the fact that the naming of systems, if you break up the names of stellar systems, there's information in there about the density and all that stuff, and stellar density. So there's some clever maths to approximate the total number. So yeah, it's cool. Poke around in edastro.com. There's more to it than I realized, and then it's really interesting.
You know that heat map? You know what it
Yeah.
reminded me of? When the Titans were appearing, they had those like symbols on them.
Oh yeah.
Which means the galaxy is actually a Titan, and we're balanced on top of it.
We're just living in a giant Thargoid tattoo.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
On the back of a Titan.
Amazing. Amazing.
Amazing.
Thargoid Titan's tramp stamp.
Right. Next up in my this is a slightly random community corner this week. Yes, I did mention on last week the thing about IMGUR removing access for anyone in the UK, and how Muggins here basically has all his images in IMGUR, so all my forum threads are now devoid of their images. I did eventually manage to download all my images from IMGUR by using a VPN and then just going to my account page, and there's a download and you get a big zip. So I got 7,222 images back from IMGUR, totaling some 14 gigabytes. And I found quite a promising alternative called imgbb.com. So I've written a little shell script which I can use on a forum thread. So my colonization, interesting colonization systems forum thread, I've used it on. So basically, I grab the post, and then I find the URLs of all my Imgur images, and then I dig around in my zip file and find them and upload them to the new site, and then convert the URLs and change the BB code of the forum post, and then save it back again. So yay, I can fix my forum threads and I can put my images back. So good stuff. It's a bit of a pain, but of course, what's going to happen is IMGBB will go down next week, because it turns out they'll probably turn out they're full of porn as well, and the UK won't allow it, and they'll go, well, screw you, UK, we're off as well. We shall see. Right, onwards, back to some more traditional stuff. I mentioned last week Commander Exorcist is winding down his wonderful Out There series, because it just takes so damn long to produce each episode and doesn't really get the hits that deserve that amount of effort. So this week's Out There episode is called Heart in the Infinite. It's beautiful as always. This will be the final original episode, as he describes it. And then the final episode of Out There will be a compilation of sorts, I believe. So that will come out next week sometime. So watch out for that, because I'm sure that will be wonderful. Right, next up, this is just a sort of fairly random racing video, but it's nice to see other groups and other people out there doing racing stuff. And this is from the Fatherhood, who seem like a really good group to get involved with, actually. If people are scrabbling around for squadrons, I don't know if they're taking new people, but they seem like a good bunch. They do all sorts of cool things. I keep finding them popping up in my colonization thread, because they're doing interesting colonization. But yeah, it's just like 5 or 6, or it might even be 10 laps of a bunch of ships flying around a canyon, by Danger Pencil. But it's some great flying if you just want to see some really nice, really well controlled flight assist off racing from Danger Pencil. Then it's a cool watch. Next up, Ditura's Elite, I mentioned, has been digging back into the guides. It's quite funny. It made me laugh at the end of this guide. He did say, if you're not a beginner, why are you watching this? And I did question myself, but I do like watching guides for some reason. I keep shouting them out on this show like we're all a bunch of amateurs that don't know how to play the game. It's called A Beginner's Guide to Elite Dangerous in 25, and it's basically picks up from the end of the tutorial and says what next, and it just shows you around combat and mining and trade. It's really good, though. I really like the Elite's guides. I think they're really good. Right, the next one is, I'll confess the next one's a gamble, because I only found it 10 minutes before the show, and I skimmed through it and I thought, this seems good, I'll throw this in. So if it turns out to be less good, then I do apologize, but I think it's really interesting. It's been around a little while already. It's called Sideshow by Commander Tommen. Episode 2 has just come out, and what I've linked in the show notes is the playlist for these episodes. The bump says, what goes on in the Elite Dangerous game universe when we're not looking? Let's find out. This series puts a fictional spin on the characters' daily dealings. And it's basically a machinima. I'm guessing, this may be really unfair, I'm guessing AI may have had a tiny hand. So it looks for all the world like Elite in-game footage, and I think most of it is. But all the characters have really well-spoken dialogue. It may well be voice-acted dialogue. It's really funny, and their lips and everything's animated beautifully. And I know how much work someone like a Scorpius or someone puts into doing this stuff, and it's too good not to have had a helping hand from. But for all that, it's fantastic. It's someone using the tools out there to do a really good job, and it looks really funny. So I've just watched the trailer and about 2 or 3 minutes of episode 2. But yeah, it's nice to see a new Elite Dangerous machinima. Might be able to dig into this one because it seems great. So yeah, Sideshow by Commander Tommen. Might revisit that next week. A couple of other points, last 2 points. L'Elite Dangerous, they, after much demand, apparently finally have a Patreon. So people that really like the French adventure creators, and they have so much more, all their sort of badges and community goals and things that go on in their website. Fantastic site. So yeah, I think there's a bunch of tiers for their Patreon. and you can get like avatar decorations and profile banners, and they have these things called card boosters. So they have all these, the sort of old-fashioned cigarette or bubblegum cards. They have hundreds and hundreds of them. And they're really cool, and they have these boosters, which are like packs of cards that you get for completing missions and stuff. So you can get some of those if you're a Patreon, and you can customize your avatar and all sorts of nice little bonuses. So yeah, it's good to see them moving from strength to strength. I know what they do takes a lot of effort. And lastly, I know it was in the audience, but I wanted to give a shout out to VR247, actually, or 24/7, I guess, who's somebody who's been getting into time trial racing recently. Kind of discovered the elite racers and has really been digging into doing time trial racing. And what's really nice has been really digging into creating time trials. It's something I enjoy doing, but it is quite labor intensive. But sort of trying to laying out the coordinates for the gates and making sure that the courses flow nicely, and making sure that the gates trigger, because they don't always if you put them in the wrong place or the wrong angle. And so there's a lot of tweaking to get these time trial courses to work really smoothly. And then you have to write all the instructions. And anyway, so VR27 has been busy creating a bunch of new time trial courses, three of which launched today for ED Copilot. So there's Bruise Views, which is a 3-lap ship race, and then Bruise Cruise and Bruise Loose Screws, which are both SRV races, and these all go around Bruise Legacy on Muan 5, and they're terrific courses. Yeah, I've linked in the show notes. I wasn't quite sure where to put a link, but if to run any of these time trials that I keep banging on about, you need ED Copilot. If you've got ED Copilot, it's well worth joining the Discord, because Razafrag, the developer, is really responsive to bug reports and stuff, and there's a good community in there anyway, sharing all sorts of hints and tips, because the app is huge these days and what you can do in it. There's so many things. So yeah, I've shared a link to the Discord, which is got these beautiful maps that VR 24/7 has made for the courses. Yeah, so that's it. That's this week's Community Corner.
Wonderful, thank you. If you have a community event taking place soon and you would like for us to shout about it and put it in show notes and share all of the links and all of that good stuff, please get in touch with us on our social medias. We have them, and we pay attention to them. Or on the comments on Spotify, you can do that too. Or you can email us at info@laveradio.com. You can do all of those things, and we will get there. Thanks, Alec. Appreciate you. In-game events. What has happened this week? The CG. We had the CG finished on Monday. We had the Type 11 Prospector declared a triumph with Lakon Space Brave praising the success of its sponsored mining trials for the Type 11 Prospector. Hey, guess what? It's good. Who saw that coming? Certainly not me. Yeah, it went really well. It was a good CG.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Where did you get? Because you really went for it. You must have been quite high.
I did a lot of mining. I was top 25,
you must have been
I think.
top 10. Oh, really? I thought you'd be top 10%.
I think I was top 20. I think I was top 25. I fully intended to do a little bit more on Friday than I actually did. I thought I was going to get Elite 5 on like Monday. I did Monday and Friday last week. I did the whole week before. I thought I would get to Elite 5. I think I was top 25, top 25%, which was fun. It's a fun ship to fly. I think I'm good for mining for a little bit now. I went hard.
Yeah.
I went hard.
Top 10 starts at 41,295 tons.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't do that much, but I did a fair amount, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I made a lot of money. I'm about a third away from 5 now.
I didn't check this fact, but they said something in this week's Loose Screws that I thought was interesting, that if you look at the numbers, the difference in the top 10 for the CG
Mhm.
is as much as the difference between the bottom 100 and just below
Yeah.
the top 10. So, like, it's not like this nice gradient where they just happen to be the
Some
top
people went
10% of a
There
line. There's, like, everybody else, and then there's these 10 people that are, like, 10
Yeah.
times more like, they're so far beyond, so far
So there is
above.
only the top 10 and then the top 25. There isn't a top 10%
Okay,
bracket.
okay.
But they yeah, I get that. I get that. Like some people, I thought I went hard. Looking at the numbers, some people went well fucking hard. Some people really went hard, whether they were doing it in a type 11 or they were doing it in one of the older ships, stubbornly wanting to get into the top 10 to say, hey, I don't need to buy a ship to get into the top 10. I don't need to buy that ship. But you know what? I had so much fun doing it in the type 11, and I didn't feel maybe quite as bad because everyone got the decal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just had to deliver one and get the decal, and it wouldn't be a problem. But we it got to what, tier 8?
Yep. I think so.
Um
Which means something for squadron perks, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. So the mining squadron perk got increased by a fair amount.
Cool.
And got increased by, I think, like 8%, something like that. Don't quote me on these numbers. I wasn't really. I'm not 100%.
I don't know what it started out at. It was 1% per tier, so 8 tiers, so 8%, I'm guessing. And they said the max was 20. But I don't know what it was and what it's up to now.
And for the uninitiated, what does this
Tier 9.
perk give you? Give us?
Okay, so it was a
More-
bigger yield.
Well, my immersion. What being signed up to a squadron means is that the asteroid somehow miraculously gives you more stuff. Don't ask me how.
Excellent. We'll talk about immersion when we talk about colonization at some point.
I guess I can only assume that the superpowers have had a word with the asteroids and said, "Look, lads, I know you're just asteroids, but when our guys come over, could you give them a bit more of your stuff, please?" I think that's how it works.
I'm going to say it means that your squadrons had a good word with the limpets, and the limpets grab a little bit more and lose a little bit less.
Maybe
It's like they're willing to pay the limpet union a little bit more so that they don't drop stuff on the way back.
The limpers workers
union.
Something like that. Wow. We've got the squadron perk is that we've given you mining training because mining, as Freelance is suggesting, mining is so difficult that we need special training for it. And that's how we get more.
Right.
We just have to look at a rock to get more.
Accurate spaffing.
While we are also creating, like, doubling the human population in a matter of weeks.
Oh yeah.
And we've got child labor everywhere in these camps.
That's a lot of different spuff cannons we've got going on out there, isn't it?
100%. Absolutely. I didn't want to go that far, Chris, but you went there. That's fine.
You're welcome.
Always grateful. And then we got another. We were blessed with 2 Galnets in a week. We got another one today. It is signal boosting, the start of another CG. There's been a strategic order placed with the Brewer Corporation, who have issued an urgent call for mined and manufactured materials to support the rapid construction of multiple new starports. Now, this is focusing on HIP 87621 in that sort of looking at securing interests around there, because a lot of the places were red, weren't they? They had the red crosses over them, so we couldn't colonize around them. Am I right in saying that? I'm assuming I'm right in saying that. Cool. Right.
There was like a 33 light year radius or something.
Right, okay.
Some bizarre number, wasn't there, around it that you couldn't colonize?
Yeah, I remember somebody saying in chat, "Hey, Psychic, have a look at the colonization thing and have a look at all of the X's around it." And I went, "Yeah, great," and then didn't do it because I have a memory of a goldfish. So yeah, there's a new CG that started today, which requires, I believe, it is bromellite and cobalt.
I can confirm.
Okay, it's bromellite and cobalt. So it's saying mined and manufactured materials. Bromellite you can only get through mining, I think.
No idea, but I know I am mining it as we speak.
I think bromellite is through mining. Cobalt you can get as a commodity. You can buy it from places. So that's that. Those are your two things. So you're either transporting cobalt from nearby places, which I'm sure the length you have to get will get exponentially bigger as the week goes on, and you can go and mine bromellite, which does bring up the rewards when we come to talk about them, because the top 75% will receive another one of these increased capacity cargo racks, these engineered ones that aren't available in game.
So as I understand it, Claire, it's basically trading or mining. Which are the best two ships for that?
I would possibly say that they are the Panther Clipper Mark II and the Type 11. I would argue that they will. It will mean that they will. It was the most convenient for you to use a Panther Clipper Mark II or a Type 11.
So if I wanted to win myself one of these cargo racks, I could pay ARX. I could pay ARX.
You could pay ARX. Yeah, you could pay
one of
ARX
these
to
cargo
win
racks.
one of those things.
Excellent.
Yeah, you definitely could do that. And you could do it with like certainty if you did those things to get, and it would be a lot more convenient, effectively, for you to get into that 75%. But hey, you know what? I've said my piece on this. And you know where we're going with this. We're not dancing around it. We've said our piece, and it's not winning elite. It's winning something at the time. It's making something convenient. Anyway,
what's annoying me is like as aforementioned, I'm basically obsessed with doing time trials. Plus, I've done enough mining, but I really want that cargo rack. Those cargo racks are so good. Like, they're so handy.
The cargo racks are really good. Is it just one cargo rack?
Yeah.
That you get on this one? Okay.
Yeah.
Although getting the top 75 won't be difficult. If
It
you
won't
do
be difficult in
one
anything.
Panther Clipper load, you'll be all right.
Yeah, but if you don't have a Panther Clipper.
Oh, well, you know.
So this is a 2-week.
Couple of Type 9s.
This is a 2-week CG.
There you go. I'll go and do this when Dracula Rally goes dark again.
Yeah.
I'll go
There you go. There you go. So looking at this, so pilots who register at least one contribution will receive a purple metallic brewer decal and the credits. Pilots in the top 75% and above of contributions will receive one Class 5 cargo rack pre-engineered with increased cargo capacity, which, as far as I'm aware, at the moment is enough to it isn't, they have no plans for it to be available via a purchasing game. There's no plans for them to make those tech broker unlocks currently.
Gotcha.
So this is the only way that you can get these. Right. The other thing that if you were pledged to a power, you will have received a message in your inbox. So this isn't a Galnet message. You would have received a message in your inbox if you're pledged to any of the powers. You will have received something along the following to these lines. This one, the one I'm going to read, is Imperial specific because it was posted in my Discord and I haven't had a chance to log in since this went went live, but this was from the Imperial representative. Brewer Corporation campaign is vital. Commander, as a loyal agent pledged to an Imperial power, I've been ordered to contact you. Rival powers plan to secure territory surrounding HIP 87621. We've therefore placed a requisition order with Brewer Corporation to establish our presence in that region. We need you to ensure that Brewer meets its targets and provides the Empire with its full allocation of ports in system neighbouring HIP 87621. So I think that this might be like a hidden CG beneath this CG, because I don't think there's going to be, because this is lasting for 2 weeks. And if this is something that drops, if this is a Halloween drop, let's assume now that we're looking at a Halloween drop, right? I think I don't want to say we're safe.
For HIP 87621?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I think the jury's out on that.
This is a CG that's going to finish on the 28th.
Yeah.
So we effectively have the 28th and then the 30th being an update and then something happening on either the 30th or the 31st.
Ooh.
For around that kind of thing, which is, there's your Halloween. There's your Halloween event for Elite. Is it going to be connected to this? Maybe. Is it going to involve an unlock? Or will it just be the start of another CG where we're trying to get ports in the system? I think because it's saying we need you to ensure that Brewer meets its targets, I think there's a hidden metric that they're going to be they are measuring for who is contributing for what superpower. Is my guess.
Yeah,
based on that information.
Three-way power grab around 8761. It's going to be interesting. Oh my God, I've got such a. Well, this really ties into question of the week, so maybe I'll save it. But I'm getting something from this.
Think that it's going to mean whoever wins out of the powers has the most of the best stations.
Yeah,
I hope that's what it means. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, whoever gets the most will be there. So we need to like ensuring that Brewer meets its targets and provides the Empire with its full allocation of ports. I think we're gonna ideally that's basically saying, hey, we need you to maybe fill this whole contribution. Is it? I'm assuming that that's units as well. So we're up to 0.7% already, and it's been going on. It says it's only going to get to 37%. It's early days. People have stopped to listen to Lave. That's what's happening.
That's true. We're holding everything
What
up.
benefits do you get for doing this?
Sorry?
What benefits, if any, do you get for doing this?
What do you mean?
Cargo rack.
You just get the normal CG benefits.
No, you got the CG thing, obviously.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be signed up for a power to do that. I can do that without being signed up to a power.
But it's like, no, it smells like a sort of hidden.
Something underneath.
The numbers are also being totted up against the 3 powers for some reason.
Yeah, and that's why I'm wondering what, if any, benefits would I get if I do this for a power?
I imagine if I'm reading this correctly, it's going to provide the power that you're aligned with, the superpower that they're aligned with. So Empire, Alliance, or Imperial. Their full allocation of. I don't have a favorite or a least favorite. Hang on, Empire Federation. Empire is the bad one. Empire and Imperial are the same. Sorry, with full allocation of ports in the system. So they've probably already been allocated ports, or they've worked out where they're going to be.
Theoretically, Ben, what you'll get is your power will get more stations clustered around 8761.
Also, here's the thing I hope, Ben. Here's what I hope as a staunch independent.
I wonder if it's what I'm thinking.
I want, if independents win, I want the powers to sit on it and swivel.
I don't know that there's
not going to happen, but that's what I
don't know that there is ever a failure option for. Nothing else has had anything sort of in where there's failure options.
The best stations go to independents.
I'd be very surprised if we see anything along those lines.
So would I.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're offering these cargo racks means there's definitely going to be contributions to it, so it's not going to fail its tiers.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think.
exactly.
Because otherwise, that would be like no stations get built. But in my head, are you guys not a little bit disappointed that this region's going to open up and basically be as if it's already populated by the sounds of it?
Okay.
So the permit lock's been there all this
tell
time.
Let me tell you my idea. So on the show a few weeks ago, I postulated the idea that HIP 8761 was quarantined because there was something nasty in it. Right. So picture the scene from Alien. You know the egg and it's throbbing and he's leaning his face right over it. Imagine this power grab of all these different powers desperate to build systems all around something very nasty that's about to explode outwards.
Oh, give me station rescues! Oh, give me station rescues!
Yes, I think all these new lovely power stations are going to be carnage.
Yes!
That's my hope. There's something nasty in HIP 8761, and we're now desperate to build stations all around it.
In that case, it would make sense for it not to be commander colonization and instead to be pre-populated.
Pre-done, because then you're not fucking anybody else. Oh,
yeah.
yes! That's so
Because
otherwise,
it's
Halloween.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I really think this is it. I'm really getting more and more confident with my wild idea now.
Like the more, as I said, Alec, the more I thought about it and the more I sat on it, the more I'm like, oh, that's literally just a reskin. And you know what I mean? If there's one thing, you go to the DLC page of Elite Dangerous, and if there's one thing Frontier are really good at, it's reskins. And that's made me so excited. Yeah, maybe we, and then Ben will be like, well, I'm glad it wasn't Independence. Now I'm not going to rescue anyone. You can all fuck off. As you go.
The only good Imperial is a dead Imperial, all right?
I am right behind you with that.
It's the Empire. It's the Federation I don't like. Sorry.
Oh,
I've got a grudge from the Federation from.
Hey, just keep your lines alive.
Back in the Alpha or whatever it was.
Fair enough.
They did me dirty.
Fair enough. So you do have to be pledged to a power to get this message that came through.
Yeah.
But it's not going to affect any rewards that you get from the CG or anything along those lines. It's just an added benefit to those who are potentially interested in doing power play stuff or have some return of a power play. Talking of power play, shall we have a look at the power play rankings? In 12, we have Petraeus, who has gained one system and has a total of 659. In 11th, we have Torval, who has gained 3 systems for a total of 677. In 10th, we have Delane, who has gained 5 systems for a total of 726. In 9th, we have Felicia Winters, who has gained 14 systems for a total of 774. In 8th, is that a switch? Maybe, I don't know.
Not sure. Yeah, because Antal was Antal and Kane switched.
I don't know. There's something going around 7, 8, 9. I don't know. Kane's gained 7 points and is in 8th. 7.7 systems and is in 8th with 982. Antal has gained 5 systems. No, they can't have swapped. He's in 7th with 989. Then Archer is in 6th with 17 gained systems, the top system earner for this week with 1,047 systems. We have Yuri Grom in 5th place, gaining 8 systems for a total of 1,250. We have LYR gaining 7 systems for a total of 1,309. Emperor Orissa remains at 3 with an addition of 10 systems, taking them to 1,664. Then we have Mahan with 8 new systems, taking him to a total of 1,722. And in first place, only gaining 2 systems this week, to a total of 2,044 systems, over 300 ahead of anybody else, is Aisling Duval. And those are your Power Play rankings this week. Oh my gosh.
Crazy. What's up with Aisling, though? Only 2. She's slowing
only
down.
2. They're slacking. They were all mining last week, so they I don't know. I don't know. Oh my gosh.
Looking across the spread, all I'm seeing is you get a system, you get a system, you get a system.
Yeah.
Everyone gets systems.
Not you, Petraeus. You get one system, and you'll be happy with your one.
It is sort of like it's not very often that we talk about them losing systems, is it? It's always like gains and who's just gained a little bit more over another at the moment.
I'd love to see I'd love to see like an animation of them. I want to see whether these gains, I assume they are, whether these gains are sort of starting to push down the lines of colonization.
Maybe. I think
actually they can't all, can they? Some of them
really.
boxed in. I think some of them are boxed in.
I think so. I think some of them might be boxed in. I feel like we're still filling those gaps that colonization happened. Like this animation that we keep talking about of seeing it all fluctuate on and off and on and off. I think it started, then colonization dropped, and we went look, and then it kind of became really stagnant again as far as power play. This is the view of a power play person who doesn't really partake in anything other than the weekly tasks when they can be bothered to do the weekly tasks. But it felt like it started to have that push and pull, and then colonization happened, and they went, oh, okay, well, we can spread out like ooze. We can spread out rather than we can push and pull against each other. And I think we'll still be like a good couple of months, dare I say, up to a year before we start seeing even any form of push or pull again. And by that point, will those people who are like on the outside start just like spreading out, leaving?
At least a few of these must be geographically landlocked by now and be seriously running out of places to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I still can't help but think, is this working as intended? Is this what they originally hoped it was going to be? I don't know. Hey, there's a store alert to go on though. That time of the week again.
Store alert!
Ruby! I don't know why I did that. Thank you for your enthusiastic response. The Ruby anniversary.
These are gorgeous.
They are gorgeous.
I do love them.
They're really nice. They've got them for the new ships now. They're the new ships are 10,000 arcs, which is what the old ships were, but the old ships are now 8,000 arcs. Next year, there'll be 6,000. We don't know that. But on the 41st anniversary of the original Elite, the Ruby paint jobs are back. Is that right? No, it was December. Was it? Who knows? But the Ruby paint jobs are back. Big thumbs up. So I imagine they're back until the 23rd of October. And then on the 23rd of October, all the Halloween shit will come in.
Yeah. That makes sense. I bought 2. Can you guess which 2?
Can I guess which 2? The Mandalay, for sure.
Yes. Well done. Yes.
The Mandalay looks lush, actually.
Yep.
Type 11?
No.
Cobra 5?
No.
Type 8.
Okay.
I think I already had the Cobra 5 one.
This
Is it the
fun
Panther
game. This could be a
Clipper?
very long. It is the Panther Clipper. I bought the Clipper and the Mandalay.
They're very nice. They're very, very nice looking. They're beautiful skins. I'd be
I
tempted to buy the Mandalay one.
was faced with an interesting. We've talked about this in the show, but it was interesting to have it literally presented to me quite so clearly. They're all gorgeous, and I was scrolling down all the old ships which are on sale, and I was thinking, these are gorgeous, but I don't fly any of these ships anymore. What is the point of buying a paint job for a ship I don't fly? Interesting.
Yeah, I hear you.
They figured out to put paint on the little cargo canisters on the Panther Clipper.
Yeah. It's a full one.
I do love how it looks pink on, like, the Cobra 5.
At the back.
It looks incredible. Yeah. At the back of the Cobra 5, when it flashes up, looks amazing.
I think the Corsair looks amazing, but I don't fly it, so it would have been a waste. But I think the Corsair.
It's got kind of like an ombre to it, haven't it?
Yeah.
It's like very bright red, and then it sort of fades towards the back. I like that a lot. I like that an awful lot. I am here for it.
Also, for people that missed out on the decal the first time round, the decal is available. The Ruby special decal.
Absolutely,
it's free.
Absolutely, there is. It is free, so go and claim it now. Like the best price. 0 arcs is the best amount of arcs that you can spend on something. So yeah, go and take a look. I'm pretty sure I bought. Did I buy one? I definitely bought one. I can't remember if I bought it for one of the new ships, unless this is the first time they've had it for the new ships.
I've got one for the Cobra 3, actually.
Yeah, I think I might have it for the Cobra 3 as well. So it's a gorgeous, gorgeous paint. And I'm not just saying that because it gets pink towards the back. There wasn't anything else new in the store, were there? It was just these. And the decal.
I think it was only this. There's a ruby dodecahedron bobblehead.
Oh
as well.
yeah, that bobblehead as well. That was from that was the last time. So everything that came the last time they had the ruby stuff on, it was the 23rd. Now it's available back until the 23rd of October. Now I need to reiterate that the Halloween shit that Frontier do is dope. So save your arcs if you're not that bothered about these things, because like legitimately the Halloween stuff, it's some of my favorite stuff that they do in game. And then the following week when they do the Day of the Dead stuff as well, also very, very cool, like the little sugar skulls.
Yeah.
So save
I
your
really ought to take it
bothered.
off and give it a wash, but I've been wearing the same Halloween outfit for about 4 years
So
now.
good though. They're so good.
Is that the skeleton one? Or
No, it's
or the wraith?
it's the yellow spaff one.
Okay.
It's the
Splatter.
yellow
Plasm.
bukkake suit.
Ectoplasm.
That's the one.
Ectoplasm, and definitely not anything else. The neon pink paint splatter I rocked for a really long time as well. They're really it's so good.
And I've got a couple of the skulls that are, as bobbleheads that have been on my ships like forever.
But they have the
same.
chance to do something amazing for Halloween, right? Everyone brace yourselves. Dinosaur costumes.
Please,
Boys.
For the
one
suits.
crossover.
They can do it. Frontier, make it happen.
Why not
They've got
dinosaur
the models.
bobbleheads?
I know.
Or Flamata Blanco bobbleheads?
No, I want a little dinosaur suit from a commander to run around in, and the mouth would be over where the helmet is, so the helmet would be in the middle of the mouth.
It would be so good if that ever happened. It would be so good. It's just for me, that is a license. I'm wearing a top which has got dinosaurs on at the moment. It is a license to print money as far as I'm concerned.
Do you know what? I don't know what it really costs in terms of developer time to make bobbleheads. They seem quite simple. I don't know what it costs, but you would think like that sort of cross game cross-game bobbleheads would be such a cool thing, like dinosaur bobbleheads and Planet Coaster bobbleheads. And the nice thing is that nobody else can see them, so it's not like you're ruining other people's immersion by having.
Yeah.
It's just for you. It's just a little fun reminder because you like Jurassic or Coaster.
You'd think
I
they'd
mean,
have
I will
access
ruin your
locals.
immersion with my dinosaur costume, and I won't care.
Yes, I'm less certain about that.
Yeah,
Bobbleheads, I'm fine with.
But we've already got snowman heads and pumpkin heads and
Pumpkin
stuff for
heads,
walking
yeah.
about in the station concourse.
You're
so,
the tiger.
and the tiger,
well.
the
You
cool
have that.
tiger, the
Yeah,
limited edition tiger. So, like, if someone was walking about with
mean,
sort of a dinosaur
yeah.
helmet, then
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, if they're jumping up and down and shouting "roar" at me over Teams chat, that might be distracting, Chris. But apart from that, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
If we're wearing that suit, can we get a new emote?
What's the new emote?
We need a roar emote, but only if you wear the suit.
What a roar.
Oh my
Roar.
gosh.
Are you doing the hand thing?
I'm doing the hand thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there is. Right, so hear me out. I'm pretty sure there is a dinosaur mascot in Planet Coaster. If there is a dinosaur mascot in Planet Coaster, we could. Frontier could make any of those things, any of those mascots. They could use those assets and put them into. It's the same engine. How hard can it be?
Exactly.
It'd be fine.
We need this in our life.
We need, exactly. We need a break. We need to have a little break. When we come back, we'll have a chat about shit. I don't know.
G'day, Commanders. Out in the black, you got enough on your plate. Scanning planets, dodging interdictions, dealing with some space collide trying to pinch your cargo, and trying not to burn your snags in the reactor coils all at once. The last thing you need? A rogue shrubbery situation while trying to wedge into a flight suit. That's why the good folks at Saracen are chuffed to bring you the Bushmaster. This is no-nonsense, solid gear that gets the job done. With the Bushmaster, gone are the days of your nether regions looking like a neglected terraforming project. The Bushmaster comes with multi-thrust precision blades, zero-G hair capture technology, and silent running mode for discreet deforestation. Don't be rocking a rainforest in your Dax, mate. Clip the billabong, mow the paddock, and blast the bush with the Bushmaster. Available at Lave Lifestyle Warehouse and the usual spots. Trim it like you mean it. The Bushmaster.
From the porcelain palace of People's Princess Aisling Duval comes a fragrance like no other.
Duval.
Infused with the steam of stardom and the bare essence of excellence.
Duval.
Eau de Bain is not just a scent, it's a statement.
Duval.
Crafted from the actual bathwater of Aisling Duval, this limited edition elixir captures notes of sapphire lotus, imperial sandalwood, and the untouchable aura of a true icon.
Duval.
Make your friends blue-haired with envy. Eau de Bain, a new fragrance by Aisling Duval.
Duval.
Take a dip.
Have you been affected by Azimuth Biotech's provocation of the Fargoid menace? At Turner & Fig, we're ready to pursue claims against Azimuth Biotech as part of our class action lawsuit.
My son has started worshipping the Thargoid god and keeps bringing home human sacrifices. Am I entitled to compensation?
Yes, you are.
My daughter was aboard the Bright Sentinel. I keep calling Azimuth to find out where she is, but I always get their voicemail.
Thank you for calling Azimuth Biotech. We're sorry, but
Salvation
is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
Am I entitled to compensation?
Yes, you are.
I was selling escape pod occupants into slavery, but now Thargoids keep taking the escape pods instead. Am I entitled to compensation?
I suppose so. Thousands, maybe millions of people are due compensation from Azimuth Biotech. Contact us today. Turner & Fig, cleaning out Azimuth Biotech for a huge portion of your compensation.
And welcome back. Oh man, Chris did all the most recent ads, and now I'm just like, oh, we need to do more ads again. When we have time, eh? Hey, that would be fun.
Time. That would be fun.
Time would be great. And while we were on break, Chris 5 reminded us, showed us a picture of the mascot, which is a dinosaur from Planet Coaster. So it's not even anybody else's IP. It's Frontier's own IP. Make it happen, Frontier. We can wait. We'll wait 2 weeks until Halloween. You got until the 23rd. You can get that done, right? It can't be that difficult. Okay.
Can they also do feathered and non-feathered variants, so I can have some paleo-accurate one as well?
Jesus Christ. Okay. So we are coming up towards the end of the year, lads. In a roundabout way. And we're bound to, not this week or next week, because there's an important other thing happening for Frontier, and I imagine that their community team is pretty heavily sat on that. But maybe towards the beginning of November, we might start getting some hints about what the last ship is. We covered that last week, and what the final feature that they're adding to the game at the end of the year is going to be. This would be a really, really good point to bring up the poll that I remember to do on Spotify. As if you remember, at the end of the question of the week, the most popular four were, for the ship, that is, were a dedicated exobiology ship, a large combat ship, a passenger ship, and a ship for smuggling. And I was like, hey, go and vote in the poll. And the poll was there. There were 14 votes to the poll. So thank you to those of you who voted. It was pretty evenly split. No one thought it was going to be a ship for smuggling. And a dedicated exobio ship and a large combat ship got 5 votes each. And then the passenger ship got 4 votes. So opinion is split across the board, it would seem.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know what that means, but maybe that just means we're going to have a large combat ship which you can do dedicated exobiology while transporting passengers.
That sounds like a weaponized safari tour, and that would play 100%. On big game hunting. So weaponized safari tour boat incoming, everyone.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, speaking of big game hunting, I did ask, we'll discuss it first and then we'll go on to the answers. But the question of the week this week, we pivoted to the other section of the ship. What ship's going to be added is what's the new feature going to be. And I was very specific when I said, not what do you want the new feature to be? What do you want this feature to be? It was, what do you think Frontier is going to add as the new feature, as this last feature to Elite? And not last feature, but the last feature this year to Elite. I want to specify that before anyone's like, oh, that's the last thing they're doing. So I thought I'd open the question to you guys first. And start with Alec.
I think it's going to be a nasty exobiological outbreak in HR 7621 and a new ship and tools to combat it. There you go.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'm slightly torn on is, like, people were saying that the trail, I've forgotten the name of the trail, but the trail that we've been following that's gone a bit cold.
Territora.
Yeah, so that did seem like it was leading up to Halloween, but now it's also, is it, a major exobiological breakthrough or whatever the wording was, sounds more like the end of year feature. I think Frontier are just going to roll the two into one. I think it's going to begin with a nice thing for Halloween, but it's going to lead into the end of the year feature, and I think so.
Hey.
I think nasty exobiological outbreak will be the Halloween thing, and then it will lead into a new ship and tools to combat it.
So that's how the Thargoid War started, was a Halloween event.
It was Adam Astor was Halloween, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Good point. Good point.
So there's no reason. We're nearing the end of the year. There's no reason for Frontier to have told us anything, especially when it comes to like these big law events. Like very historically as partners, we get stuff that is not something that is going to ruin, I'm going to say, our immersion. I'm going to say that lightly, but we don't get the like spoilers for cool in-game events that are going to happen. We don't get those sort of heads up. And I'm really, really grateful for that, because I like to experience it without knowing what's going to happen. I like to experience these cool things without knowing what's coming up. So yeah, I don't think you're that far off, Alec, but I will open the floor to anybody else who would like to make a suggestion.
Okay, I'm going to go. I think it is going to be a significant rework of Odyssey ground-based stuff. I think we will see engineering get quite a rebalance, I think.
Right.
At least for on-ground stuff.
That would be good.
Yep. I think there's obviously going to be some change to plant scanning. What I think they might do potentially is introduce a new thing into colonization, which will be either a space one or ground one, but it will be a biological reserve, and when you get the DNA samples from plants, you will be able to grow them in your thing, and from then maybe we will get some sort of new materials or something like that, or they become a tradable commodity. So I think it might play into kind of that aspect of it. So you might just be able to turn an entire planet into like a nature reserve if you really wanted to. I think that'd be quite cool. So almost like a mini terraforming.
That's what you think they go. We need to be very careful, because I'm saving the other one for later.
No, I think we're going to see something with you being able to. I think that's what changing it all is, because we haven't been able to grow these plants. I think the change is that we're going to be able to put plants on a planet, which will have some impact in colonization. So maybe like the lightning plants are good for high tech things because lightning in it, things like that. I think that is going to start to play into it, and I think we will be able to build either a ground settlement or a space settlement, which is to do with plants. And I think from them we might be able to harvest material. It will kind of produce some sort of materials, I think, as well from it. And I think just On Foot is just going to get a complete pass, because as a game mode, it's been kind of forgotten about and just left in the corner and occasionally prodded with a stick.
Okay. I'm going to go to Ben.
I think we've got to look at what's not been touched since released.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is either passengers or exploration.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with passengers, mostly because we're talking about all these evacuations and everything like that. That's lining directly up with passengers. We have not had a single passenger ship update for the whole, since we've got the new ships. But also, there is so much potential gameplay that you could do with passengers.
Right.
There's so many. There are like Alex has been showing us. There's been so many beautiful sites that could be added into the list of.
Well,
the
first round of tourist beacons was done on a community thing on the forum. Yeah,
exactly.
Do that again.
I'd love for them to do that again. I think that'd be great.
So yeah, I mean, I would not be at all surprised if it were passengers.
I've seen like a lot of the discourse, a fair amount of the discourse around passengers is people who don't do passenger missions going, well, nobody does passenger missions, so why? It's that thing like, we all want this.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people go, oh, well, nobody does passenger missions. I do passenger missions. I really like passenger missions. Yeah, I've seen you doing passenger missions. I know that Chris 5 does passenger missions because he talks about them all the fucking time because he loves them so much. So it's that I feel like that's really like a justifiable thing, and Frontier have the details about what missions people are picking up that goes through the journal, so they will know what they feel needs looking at. And I think that's a really good way to look at it, Ben. Is sort of, oh, you've got, these are the things that haven't been touched so far. That's what I'm going to go with.
Could you throw escort missions in with that? So a passenger is like, well, I've got my own ship, but I could do with someone to fly escort because I'm a bit worried about being attacked. And
that's like an entirely new mechanic, and I really like that idea.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
I think your ideas are all great. I think there's some really well thought through ones there. For me, I'm going to go with a potential new station type. I think we might end up with a new station type above gas giants. You know, we might get, I don't think we're going to get landing, well, there is no kind of landing on a gas giant really, but I think we might get flying into a weird sort of gaseous atmosphere on the edge of a gas giant with
like
some
Cloud
sort
City
of
Station kind of
like
idea.
Cloud City Station type
Yeah.
construction, because I think it might be something that they had on their list of we would love to do as part of colonization, but just didn't have the time to get that feature finished before deployment of colonization. So I think it might be an amendum to that, possibly. But
I do like that. I actually prefer that. I'd rather have that than my idea. But
your one sounds like, with all the way the story and everything's pointing at the moment, Alec, I've got to say I think your one is the more likely. It feels like it, and I would love for them to rework on foot. I would love for them to do passenger stuff, but I think that's the different. I think some of those are on the different question that Psychic's going to ask in a future week, rather than
me.
Yeah, and speaking of you, what do you think,
Oh
Psychic?
shit! Like literally, the more I cannot get. I cannot agree with Alec any more than I already do. They're like, it was one of those things
we
where
jinxed it. It's not going to be that now. It's really not going to be that.
It was genuinely one of those things where we finished the show, and we finished the show, and instead of going to bed like a sane human, I went and played more Plague Inc. And I was like, oh my god, this is definitely it. I was like, this is so good. And I was thinking about all of the stuff that is sort of like feasible to do. With, let's hypothetically say that there's a good sized team of people who are passionate about Elite working on Elite Dangerous, but there is a smaller section of that team who are working on this next update, this new feature that is there. I think I cannot avoid this idea that it has to be something that is really relatively easily, like visually implantable in game. And that kind of thing with just like an extra mesh on a reskin of something else and going, this is infested now, or something like that. It just infested, the ground is infested. There'll be stations that can be infested as well that you have to go in.
Yeah, I was going to say, whatever it is, it needs to attack metal so that we can have station rescue missions again, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Like something that, like, even as something as simple as, I say simple, but even, the Thargoid attack stations or the metal alloy stations or whatever they were, the UA stations
they
where
had splatters of Thargoid acid all over them.
Yeah, the green stuff all over them. Make that like a red that goes into a blue. So that's really alien, like a red that fades into a blue on a gradient, something like that. That would look. For me, that would do it, and I'd be all over that. I love station rescues. And then there's a reason for a medium passenger ship. right there in the palm of my hand. Give me that medium passenger ship, and that's filled that role. Even though I'd probably just go in my my Corvette that is still there. Burning peasant smell is still absolutely ready to go and full for passengers. But I really, really, really miss station rescues, and maybe it's me being super selfish for like wanting that particular thing back. But
No,
I
they were
don't
good.
know.
They were good. It's a shame we've lost those. They were really, and we don't need to have lost those because they didn't have to be Thargoid, did they? We had a few terrorist attacks and things that
Yeah,
had.
yeah. I wouldn't mind the colours changing. I like if it looked exactly the same, I'd be a little bit disappointed, but I'd still be doing station rescues, so I'd be like over the fucking moon about them. But I wouldn't mind a color change just to go, oh, this is something different. And if all it is a color change to make me happy, my expectations are super low, I guess. All I need is a palette change and we're fine.
And do you know what? If it's none of this, it's just occurred to me. If it's none of this and something completely different, or isn't there a terrorist attack state, system
Yes,
state?
I believe there is.
Why not just make it that you have to do that you get burnt stations in a terrorist attack, and we can do rescue missions. Just make it that it
Like
just happens all the time.
I think that's one of those like random states that can happen rather
Yeah.
than.
Well,
So
just
why
make it
not?
that. Why not have the stations go on fire when that happens and have to do rescues? Just
It's
as a
terrorist a malfunction. You know, you could have that. There's a malfunction on a station with, you know, the rotation or the gravity or the air or something like that.
That seems an easy win to bring
off.
to bring back that bit of gameplay for really little or no effort.
I'm so desperate for it. They said both of my rank up how to rank up videos, the end of both of those videos go, if you're lucky enough that a station is on fire, you can rank up amazingly quickly if that station is aligned to Fed or Imperial, and you can just like go and rescue and you're constantly increasing your rep. Not only for that, because that was such a good way to gain rep and gain access to those further things that you might not already have access to the game, which is probably maybe one of the only real grinds that still exists in the game now, and is maybe slightly harder because of the systems between places like Seoth and Sophist and Robigo and those sort of things. Maybe it is a slight bit more difficult to rank up with a superpower. So it just seems like an easy win to make that easier for commanders easier for time poor commanders to gain rank quicker. I don't know.
Not that we recommend gaining rank in the Empire.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, I do, because if you want the extra ships, you're going to need it, and you can be in both, so you don't have to pick one. Which we're not going to talk about why that's a bit. But I'm not opening that can right now. But hey, I didn't just ask you guys this, because I also asked it in my very, very poorly state on Sunday as part of my Sunday ritual, which is listening to the Chris Mock do his radio show on Black Diamond FM from 12 till 2 every Sunday. It's worth listening to. That sounded so bad.
It's worth a listen.
It's all right. It's all right. If you're free, you can listen to it. I try and listen to it religiously every Sunday because I like supporting my pals. And Chris is also excellent, and he does some great interviews. He's got an interview coming up this week with
Stephen McCafferty.
Stephen McCafferty. Oh, I knew it was Stephen McCafferty. But yeah, he's got a guest in next week, and it'll be a really good listen because he might be doing some stuff live, and I'm quite excited about it. Anyway, we asked the question of the week. We ask it on Twitter or X on Blue Sky, and we also ask it in our Discord. We have a brand new question of the week channel in Discord because it has been getting lost for some people. So we have a new question of the week channel you can find on Sunday. I will post it. I will turn it into a thread. You can reply under that thread. And then around the start of the show, probably around the start of the show on of the day that we do the show, I will lock that thread. So unless you're a mod, you won't be able to reply in that thread, and that's the way we're going to do it. And then if you want to look at previous answers, you can find it all in our Discord, all in that channel, which hopefully will be, if we're looking back at stuff at the end of the year or a year's roundup, we might have a bit more information. Anyway, this week we asked, what do you think will be added to Elite at the end of the year? And this isn't what you wanted to see. I'm going to save that for another question of the week. But what you think Frontier is cooking? Ben, we'll start with you.
Right, let's start with Taller Ghost. I hope that it'll be planets with denser atmosphere and some new forms of life, and possibly weather effects. It'll be a huge addition for exploration gameplay and enhance the colonization feature with some new possibilities. Maybe even some new Guardian or on foot gameplay, or Thargoid on foot gameplay.
Maybe. Cool.
Wishful thinking, but yeah.
Weather.
Atmosphere and
love
weather.
I really would.
I think that I genuinely do think that depends on. It depends on a commander setting their expectations right. Like if you're expecting lightning or those kind of like dusty clouds that we got in on the Titan approach, yeah, that's great. But anything else?
Yeah. Rain on the windscreen. Too much.
Mindful crowds.
I'd love it.
Windscreen wipers.
Oh man, a windscreen! I want a windscreen wiper. I want a windscreen wiper. I don't care. I don't care. I want a windscreen wiper.
It'd be an engineer unlock for them not to squeak.
Oh my god! Oh no! We're out. Silas Resi says, I think it'll be an extension of the current Exo bio, but I think it'll be gathering evidence of Guardian, Tharg, other alien traces, maybe involving mapping residues on the planet's surface, hopefully using something akin to the MB4 mining machine. MB4 mining machine?
Oh, this was essentially a thing that you dropped off on a planet, and it would mine for you.
It's like a mining drone.
From Frontier.
Right. Okay.
I think it's where the original, it's like mining your face came from Saracen, was the mining drone.
Right, okay.
going into the deep Lave lore. Neil Wiley, I think they'll be looking at combat. Combat is fantastic in Elite. However, it hasn't been dramatically altered, unlike exploration or mining, and may be on the list to be reviewed.
Potentially, but one would argue that a lot of people think combat is fantastic in Elite and doesn't need the attention like mining or exploration did.
I don't know what you
still doesn't.
I don't know what you would add to combat itself. Would it be like a different type of spaff cannon? Yeah, like you could have a different gun. You could have a different gun.
Go with your exoplasm suit.
Yeah,
a multiple spaff cannon. I'd like a spaff cannon for firing out enemies more, one that does more damage, and then I would also like a multi-turreted beam laser all on one spot, so I get like a 1980s laser show for no reason.
Or what if they did the persistent damage models for all ships and not just the Anaconda?
Hey, you never know.
Hey, okay, and I have Finn McRaven. I think it's entirely possible that we will see the start of more in-depth missions / a campaign that sends us on journeys around the galaxy. Frontier can't have ignored the success of No Man's Sky expeditions and how they bring back players to their game each time. We do have the chain missions already, so I guess it would be like a really big chain.
Right, so we also had, what were they called? Interstellar.
Oh, the Interstellar Initiatives.
Yeah, we had Interstellar Initiatives, I think, before No Man's Sky did a single expedition or existed, if I'm being honest. Am I right?
They were basically just a CG with a bit of a story.
No, there were
Yeah.
there were multiple chained together as well.
Yeah. And I think we kind of have that sometimes. Like the last few Brewer ones have all been linked to colonization, and they all do link to a story.
Was there anything special about Interstellar Initiatives other than the phrasing of them?
We got decal. We got
Usually
decal at the end of them.
it was multiple things together that ended up, and also it was so the Golconda one ended up with the final kind of act for it was the Imperials wanted them off the off the Golconda and onto a outpost.
Yeah.
The Feds offered to fix the Golconda and give them an outpost. And it was direct race between Imperial and Federation, and you could only pledge for one side, and you had to work towards that one.
Yeah.
So there was no just taking part. It was very much this decides what's happening. As a result, down the line, we got a new rare out of it, which is the booze that they brew on the Golconda, and they kept the ship and they got their wee outpost.
Okay. What I was wondering, I don't think we've lost a mechanic really with the loss of Interstellar Initiatives, have we?
Yeah,
It was kind of phrasing, and then the rewards were maybe a little bit more manual effort from Frontier to inject stuff.
Yeah,
But basically, it was CG, wasn't it?
The Scourge one introduced a new BGS state.
It did. It did. And the first initiative was Bridging the Gap, which was the Colonia Bridge Initiative.
Yeah, I got my decal for that.
Yeah, because
I think that's the one I don't have.
Yeah, in the Scourge, it was use this super special fertilizer. Then all of a sudden, oh no, it's gone horribly wrong. Deliver this stuff and help us fix it. And then that's how we got whatever it's called.
Was it Famine State?
No, it was something slightly different.
Blight?
God. Yes.
Blight.
Yeah, that's how we got the Blight. So that Interstellar Initiative brought a new BGS state, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
it was.
That was
cool.
pretty cool.
I'm surprised I remember all that.
Kesenik says, going back to my previous answer from last week's question, I still think that it will be an extension of exobiology, either new planet surfaces, bios in gas clouds or asteroid belts, or maybe even basic fauna. I'm not expecting NMS-style giant dinos, but something like small mammals or insects. It could even be exopaleontology, discovering fossils and bones.
Bones!
I like it.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, paleontology is quite fun. Don't know why I like that, but
No, I'm not going to go into. No, I am. How long has that kind of mechanic been in Minecraft?
I've not played Minecraft for a very long time.
I accidentally caught a Minecraft stream the other day, and apparently it was running vanilla, and it was basically brushing away at a rock.
About 2, probably I think about 2, 3 years, something like that.
Oh, really? They have fossils you can discover.
Yeah, they have. So you can. I know too much about this. You can get there were things that you can get like an egg, and it turns into something called a snifter, I think, and that will sniff out fossils for you. It's a creature. There's occasionally I will watch. I still watch some of the Minecraft YouTubers I used to watch when I was younger, but they still play Minecraft, and I pick up some of this. But I think it's probably about 3 years, something like that, probably even longer, because COVID is a period of time that I refuse to acknowledge as being something that existed. So maybe before then.
Okay, so it's been at least that long since I last played Minecraft, then apparently. Right, Commander Loki Di Pietro. Possibly something Odyssey related. It's been a long time coming for that push to make Odyssey mesh with the rest of the game in a more dynamic way. Missions to stow away on ships to sabotage, assassinate, or even take the ship over to return it to its rightful owner. No Man's Sky, X4, and t'other game that'll never finish, plus a lot more, all have it. Ship interiors with bells and whistles. It's time.
Okay. No Man's Sky has it in one ship that is infinitely smaller than a Corvette. I don't know about you. Unless there is a we've had these ships that we can walk, we can just like beam onto the bridge for years, making me have to walk. I played No Man's Sky with a Corvette, which is the ship that you can walk into. I played that and I had to walk an extra couple of feet to get to the hatch. I played it for maybe 20 minutes and I moved the stairs and the hatch so it was closer to my door, closer to my flight seat. And I think that is that's evidence of how frustrating it is to have to walk in places where you didn't have to walk before.
Yeah.
Granted, I have stuff that I can do on my Corvette, like I can do refining on my Corvette. I have other things that I can do that I can go to, but to get out of my ship, I want to be able to just like press a button. It would be, as Kremen says in chat, it would be fun the first couple of times, be great, and then after that, I'm probably going to get a bit bored.
I always say interiors for salvage. You know,
yeah,
that would be amazing. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know that I'd want to walk around my own ship very much, once or twice, but interiors for salvage would be amazing.
It's something that No Man's Sky had for quite a while and still does, is the sort of abandoned frigates, where every once in a while when you're out in space, you'll come across an abandoned frigate and you can go in and liberate cargo and materials, and sometimes you find them infested with all sorts of terrible stuff. So, yeah, something like that, where occasionally you can come across a POI of a fleet carrier, essentially, that's broken down and abandoned, or some sort of frigate asset that, okay, you're not able to walk around the entire thing, but you maybe have a few corridors and bits that you can go into and liberate stuff, maybe pick up
another Lost Generation ship or something like that.
Yeah, like you come across it and maybe there's something there going, a message saying, please make sure this makes it to blah 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 settlement, or make sure this item gets somewhere, and you're able to take it, or you're able to keep the salvage for yourself and sell it off, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be quite cool.
I've given up hope on this, but how about just walk around our cockpits?
Yeah, I will happily meet in the middle and say I'll walk around the cockpit, because the cockpits are already mapped out. Like, we already know what they look like.
And like I was saying with the Type 11, I would love it, and I accept it's an extra 2 steps, but I wish the blue blob
was at the door.
At the door, not the bottom of the ramp.
So you had to walk up the ramp to be in the blue circle.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Why not? I like that.
Yeah, I those are the two middles that I would meet you at. But I think anything further would, as chat have been saying, people would get bored with it after the first sort of like few times, because they're used to the ease of not doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I know from playing t'other space game, I don't find it particularly monotonous, but I get people might.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, Nicey says, we have to be realistic. Shucks. I'm going with something Odyssey-esque, such as an Exobio overhaul or on-foot combat rebalance, largely taking the annoying grind out, as they have been doing with engineering power play. I would love them to take another pass at ExoBio and giving the recent Galnets. I think this may be coming, but it remains to be seen. Props to FD for the effort put in so far, though. I'm sure many other companies would have abandoned Elite Dangerous years ago. She's got a point. Like when we've had financial reports that haven't even mentioned Elite, or Elite has been a footnote, the fact that it is still alive is really testament to the team that are working on it and their passion. In my opinion.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. Cheb's will. All the wishes aside, and I'd have plenty. Could it be crime, punishment, and smuggling as the updated feature? It could be. Could be another pass at crime and punishment and your time in the penal colonies. Yeah, it's everyone's got a slightly different idea for crime and punishment. Like they're always fun debates, the crime and punishment debates, because there's some people that want to like have all their assets seized and be punished for good, and then there's other people that are like, sending me to the other side of a system is really annoying.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, I've got one from the Jinx effect. I get myself ready for this. A new way of flying. Oh wait, we already got SEO. And the whole new way of X thing is probably played out. Maybe we'll get car phones in our ships so we can all say hi to our mums from space.
Jinx, how dare you!
It's difficult not to expect more exploration and exobiology updates following the breadcrumbs that have been laid down so far. Though, this might actually turn out to be a bit of Halloween fun. I have a wild idea the new feature might tie in with human xeno-hybrids in some way. We've unlocked and integrated Guardian and Thargoid technology with human tech already. The first human captives of the Thargoids were freed a little over 2 years ago now. What have we learned from them in that time? The Empire had been closely monitoring in Protective Sanctuary while the Alliance ended their quarantine. Winters wanted to end the Federation's quarantine, but then the Rhea disaster happened. Did they all fall through the cracks? I mean, I guess if they're on the planet, possibly. Or did I just miss the resolution on their fate? Also, what's the latest with Sojine? This is just an odd hunch, and I've got no idea how this will look, but I'll speculate anyway. Maybe it'll start with the discovery of a lost quarantine megaship, with voice logs hinting at experiments. Eventually, we might see conflicts breaking out, with infected populations needing to be pacified. This could lead to breakthroughs that open up the possibility for commanders to engineer their bodies. Probably nothing too over the top. Maybe you can run faster, jump higher, consume less O2, extending battery life, sense or see warm bodies through cover. Alright, that last one is probably a bit too much. To be honest, I think this has more potential for narrative than introducing new features. It might be a bit of a letdown, but I have to give Frontier credit for finding ways to make new mechanics exceed expectations.
Jinx is talking about turning us into Predator, right?
Yeah.
With seeing bodies through cover. Okay, cool. Just so I'm sure.
Engineering. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can walk about in your dinosaur suit, and I can grow my own carapace, so it'll be fine.
Hey, if you grow a carapace, that makes you closer to a Taurian and therefore more attractive to Psychic. Anyway.
Brilliant. Good answer. Right, Evo Flash. What are they cooking? I think they've spent a fair bit of time honing their surface design skills for ships. They've gotten complex moving parts on the outside and spent time showing off under the bonnet about their ship design process at PitCon. It was brilliant and fascinating, and quite rightly, they should be proud of their achievements. I grinningly told the team exactly that at PitCon. I suspect they will use this talent and focus inwards on ship interiors. Mechanics are already in place through Odyssey. Some delicious textures will surely be under development. The question I'm a little stumped by is what functionality these interiors will bring. It could be a new ship maintenance game mechanism. The whole repair structural bit has always narked me a little. Walking about fixing my ship would tick loads of boxes for me, just hopefully wouldn't deteriorate into something irritating but necessary over time. Beyond that, I struggle to see what the functionality would be. It's late and I've just done a 4-hour drive having enjoyed latest show. By the way, I went Sidewinder, Type 6, Type 7, Asp Explorer. now think I'm more odd than not. So yes, ship interiors with a maintenance mechanic.
I think Even Flash has hit the nail on the head with that by saying hopefully it wouldn't deteriorate into something irritating but necessary over time, and that's the scary thing with interiors is if they add something with interiors that we're not used to and it's taking away something that's been convenient for us.
Yeah.
Is it going to become an irritation?
And they've been going towards more convenience recently.
Exactly.
You know, Super Cruise Overcharge and high grade emissions that are full of all this. Yeah, it's just like let's just take all the grind out of this.
Yeah, everything that they've been doing for the last 2 years has been like, what can we do to expedite your commander's journey? Because we've talked about this loads of time on the show. None of us play Elite the way that we did 5 years ago. To the extent, or I think most of us will pick up another game more readily than we would sort of 5 years ago when we were playing Elite. Is that COVID's fault? Yeah, maybe. But
I mean, I don't. But...
I know. Yeah, sorry.
But
all of us, bar Alec, play games, play Elite very differently from the way that we used to, and I think we play much more games, and I don't think it's a bad thing expediting a journey for even a new commander or others who want to play other games. And
I really like the recent changes.
Me too.
I think it's all great.
Yeah, right. Eyeball's saying, I think that what they will add will be a modest change. It's easy to jump on the hype train and raise expectations beyond what is realistic. The recent Type 11 hype is a good example. Expectations were high, very optimistic, and led to wide disappointment what the actual feature was. Very modest. If someone had suggested that the new mining feature might be a combined abrasion blaster and laser cannon, they'd have been downvoted into oblivion. So, I'd be surprised if it was landable atmospheric planets or ship interiors or other big new features. I'd like to see them, but I don't think they are likely judging from previous releases. I think it'll be a revamp of a current feature, like the Power Play or Squadrons update. I'm going to guess it'll be an update to missions and the mission board. Oh, good idea.
Please.
Yeah. A few different mission types, perhaps. Rebalance of rewards, maybe colonization and power play specific missions. But it's still being realistic. Bugger it. I think it'll be a big racing update, adding features for space and SOV racing.
Yes!
Bugger it.
I mean, I'd love to see mission changes. I'm one of those who would definitely love that.
If they could add more flexibility, including chains, to the mission systems.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Make it easier to do wider variety of rewards. So, you go and do a chain mission and you get a I killed Alec Turner decal. I don't know why I picked that, I just did. Sorry,
every mission just randomly finishes with "Now go kill Alec."
Now go kill Alec.
You'll find him doing a speed run at the following settlement.
He'll almost certainly be at Dracula point again. Hilarious.
Okay.
A revamped mission system would be great.
Yeah,
that's interesting, isn't it? I mean, like the mention of like updating mission rewards as well, because things like CGs recently have had very good financial reward for whatever they've been doing. Money means
150 million for doing feck all.
Yeah, well, money now means slightly less in the game than it used to. So
and it didn't mean that much even then.
Yeah, so maybe updating some of the rewards for the missions would improve some stuff, because people are maybe going, oh, well, I can make more money running back and forward in the CG now than going off and doing my favourite mission type, so I'm going to do that. And then the missions are getting less playtime, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Sir Oberon is back and says, good question. Thanks, Sir Oberon. Especially defining between I want from what they are planning. I mean, does anyone really know? If it's linked to the story arc and the missing exobiologist, then I believe it could be more exobiology stuff. But would more type of flora/fungi really count as a new feature? I don't know, and I would be kind of disappointed if that was it. I would hope that we get fauna instead, because xeno non-sapiens creatures would definitely be a cool addition, though I would expect this would need FF to open up more atmospheric planets to have anything beyond simple cellular life. However, given that this current story arc is in October and FF are known for doing spooky stories, why can't the story arc take a darker turn? Maybe they unleash a virus, maybe turn the crew of the megaship into zombies, and the new feature to enter these ships on foot and go zombie stomping, or alien-style xeno-kicking while looting the stores for more useless materials. It would be a good halfway house for ship interiors, even if they left a lot of the texture and design from the existing settlements. And it doesn't have to stick with megaships. It could inflict starports and surface ports too. If nothing else, it brings another dimension to the Odyssey game element, at least. Is that too close to being on my personal wish list? No, not really. I have other ideas I can bring to the table, but it's not too much of a leap from where we currently are, both in available gameplay within the current architecture of the game and the ongoing story arc. I agree, but I take it Alex's direction and not like a zombie direction. I really hope that we don't get zombies. I think we're like 3 years too late for that as far as like gaming trends are concerned, but also something like it's a virus. I'm so here for it. I cannot see it being anything else at this point, and that is dangerous.
Wait, I had a thought.
Is it ever too late to stomp on zombies?
No, so it wouldn't be zombies, right? But just hear me out. Trick or treating.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, that's how we get the costumes in, Alec.
That's how we get the costumes.
Let's go trick or treating, boy. Let's go. You can buy eggs and throw them at the like the bases that won't give us any sweets.
Oh man!
So now I'm picturing some very sad. Now I'm picturing some very sad settlement version of Chapdoor Run.
Yes.
But yeah, dear, right.
Let's go, guys.
We get an egg cannon.
And pelt a bartender with eggs.
Wow.
Try and run away. I was thinking about that zombie one you were playing today, Psychit, the Next Fest one.
The quarantine thing.
Yeah. You know, having to verify people before they're allowed in and out of a settlement as a
scan
job.
them and all of that shit. Yeah, no, I'd be down for that. I could do that. I'd be well good at that. I reckon I'd probably only accidentally liquidate one person. I can't remember the last time a game made me feel that guilty.
I was only guilty because they took money off you.
Yeah. You're right.
Profane Pagan. Opening another landable planet type is still a good bet, but FDev is working hard on revising the key elements of the game. So at this point, I think overhauled war states, war between factions could be on the menu as well. Interesting. I like that.
Don't we have war between factions already?
Well, we do, but maybe sort of trying to make them break out more often. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Like have a different mechanic for the wars.
I tell you what. I'd be so happy if they did on foot wars on colonized settlements. Because I don't think we have that at the moment. I think that's still broken. Someone please confirm if that's correct and wrong. War on colonized settlements.
Oh, what does frontline
I know it wasn't
not
a while
work?
back.
Yeah.
I don't think on foot combat. I don't think you can have on foot CZs in colonized settlements yet.
Oh, that's a shame because that's I quite like the
love
frontline
that gameplay.
gameplay. Yeah, that could
Clement's
be a fun
confirming
one to
you.
get adjusted.
Chris, bring us home.
I have VR 24/7. Perhaps FDev will move to make Odyssey part of the base game as they did with Horizons. I expect they will eventually. Surely they would expand the variety of exobio species available to find while introducing quality of life updates like expanding exoscanner range and sample capacity. You've got to swish more into the bucket. Maybe an upgrade that can find and analyze Thargoid and Guardian samples, giving us another reason to return to those sites. Seems like it's time to unleash a new wave of discovery across the galaxy. Honestly, any reason they can come up with to restore evacuation missions due to piracy, invasion, or outbreak would be welcome.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Another evac missions. Please. What was I gonna say to that? Odyssey being part of the base game, the Odyssey and Horizons, or the base game and Odyssey are different PEGI ratings. So
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, so getting those two merged in together is a little bit. It would lose the PEGI rating of the other game. I don't know how that stands. I don't know how this shit works, but I know that might be a complication. Odyssey, like Horizons and the base game weren't, and I genuinely do think that the only reason that they would even think about doing that, is if they shut down consoles altogether, like the Horizons, like old life content on the older generation consoles entirely together, or they were bringing out a new DLC. I can't see them ever maybe doing that when they can print money by creating ships. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but hey, we ask a question every week. I think you can probably guess what this Sunday's question might be. But keep an eye out for it, and we will read your answers next week when Colin is back. Providing he's not fallen off his bike or anything along those lines. Hey, does any
Jesus. Not
fallen off a camel?
Yeah,
Maybe.
No.
Does anybody have any other business or anything else that they want to bring up today? Excellent. Hey, folks, we really like reading your Spotify comments. So if you're happening to listen to the show on Spotify and you want to leave us a comment over there, we love reading them. It's really fun. I'm a big fan. Please go over there and say hello. We'd love that. Right then, time for shout outs. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, broadcasts on Thursdays from 8:30 p.m. You can tune in at twitch.tv/Hutton Orbital Trackers, or for just the audio at radio4themug.com. For the discerning commander who likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We're also giving shout outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts. They are the Guard Frequency, who do other space games, and the lovely Loose Screws. And if you speak French,
Je ne prends pas.
Excellent. I personally just let the funky music do the talking, but you can listen to the lovely folks over at Elite Dangerous as well. Following this, we do have a Galnet News Digest, because we had a Galnet today, and we have the latest Galnet News Digest as provided by the absolutely wonderful Commander Wotherspoon and the equally excellent Commander Beetlejude. Thank you to those who have chipped in on Twitch chat and our in-game commanders, who are
we have had Siberius and Frozen Satsuma.
And I know that Katie
and
on
Katie
her way,
Anna has turned up. Yes,
she's just turned up.
Well made it, Katie.
Incredible. Thank you to everybody who has chipped in on Twitch chat as well. And also special thanks to Commander Takoso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who created the music used on the show. And that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you would like to get in touch with the show, then you can find contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 p.m. and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. Thank you to Ben.
Yeah, good night.
Thank you to Alec.
Thanks, Claire. Hi to Sulu in chat, who's really nice to see him doing better and better and better. And night all.
Yay! Thank you to Chrisbot5.
You're welcome.
And a big thank you to today's tech specialist and chatty man, who you can catch on Black Diamond FM on a Sunday. And he's really good.
You're welcome.
Chris Mark 4.
Thank you.
Right. Until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? It's almost like someone having an orange inserted. You need a safe word.
Space can be low.
I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Update, 14th of October, 3311. All three superpowers are taking a sudden interest in the Territora mystery and are planning to establish a permanent presence close to HIP 87621. Brewer is anticipating a starport construction boom, and it's offering a high-capacity Mark II cargo rack to the top 75% of those who help stock up on raw materials. Commanders pledged to a power have received an inbox message from their respective power agent asking that they work with Brewer to deliver the raw materials needed to help their power or superpower establish a strong presence in the vicinity of the permit-locked HIP 87621 system. They may also have received a message from Territora's tutor, Professor Radix, in which he reveals that many powers are suddenly taking an interest in what October Consortium is up to, and in whatever exobiological discovery they have made. The powers have, after weeks of prevarication, apparently decided that they want a part of the action, and they are not at all pleased with the October Consortium for trying to keep it quiet. We don't know what's been discovered in HIP 87621. However, it seems that we will soon have the opportunity to help the Empire, Federation or Alliance to establish a formidable presence close to the site of the discovery. And before that happens, we need to help Brewer Corporation get ready to fulfill these multiple orders for new starports. Now, and for the next 2 weeks, the Brewer Corporation Trailblazer Dream megaship in HIP 9578 is buying as much cobalt and bromellite as we can supply. It is not at all clear why they want these materials, which are not commonly used in the construction process. However, they will pay good money for them, so perhaps it's best not to ask. Brewer says it doesn't mind where you get the commodities from, you're free to mine them, But you can equally buy them at a starport, and it will still count, as long as you've signed up for the goal before you start selling. There'll be special rewards for those who help. Everyone who contributes will get a purple metallic brewer decal, but the top 75% of participants will also receive a size 5 Mark II cargo rack, which can hold 11 tons more than the 32 tons of a standard one. The brewer initiative will run for 2 weeks, ending in the last week of October.